May I now call Dr. Charanjeev Chavra, consultant dermatologist and specialist cosmetic laser medicine, and she'll introduce us to the cosmetic world, cosmetic dermatology, the latest trends.
A small announcement. I would request all the interns, it's a message for all the interns to please gather as soon as possible inside the auditorium so that immediately or in between the CME, we can have the interns felicitation ceremony. Please request all your friends, you can message them or whatever it is. Unless you are in, the felicitation is going to be missed otherwise.
Good afternoon, friends. It's a privilege for me to be standing here today and talking to you. I talk about cosmetic dermatology, latest trends. In the early 1990s, when we were interns, the aesthetic needs were few and solutions were very limited. If somebody wanted aesthetic improvement, there was the surgery as an option and there were very few takers. At that point of time in the Western world, things were far advanced. The first energy-based device which came into our country was in the year 1996, and I was lucky enough to work with it in the year 1997. This is what a mid-40s lady looked in the early 90s, and this is what she wants to look today. So to bridge this gap, we have to walk the path where we have solutions which give tangible results and are reproducible. We have a lot of inspiration. There are our role models, like these beautiful actors. So these are some of our role models which inspire us. But there are the less attractive faces which a cosmetic dermatologist has to work on. And to work on these, again, we need some proper solutions. This is how an attractive face becomes unattractive over time. There are changes in the skin, the laxity, wrinkles. And to change this, again, we need to take help. So aesthetic medicine has two arms. One is to create or enhance, especially in the younger people, and another is to restore or rejuvenate, that is to repair what has gone down. When we create, we change the existing facial shape and features. And when we restore, we work on pigmentation, clarity, skin texture, laxity, volume, wrinkles, contours, and we lift key facial features which makes a face more aesthetically appealing. There are 4 pillars on which an attractive face stands on, that is color, shape, skin quality, and proportion. There were studies to show that the most desirable shape is the oval shape, and people want a smooth, clear, wrinkle-free skin. Now, there is an increasing desire to look good. There is awareness, there is access to new technologies, people are open. The importance of wellness, beauty, and healthcare is rising, and people are ready to pay for it. The demand for cosmetic procedures in India is rising at the rate of 20 to 25% annually, and it is supposed to remain so for the next coming 10 years. The most important is that the demand for non-surgical procedures is rising. Few people want to go in for surgery. They want a quick answer with little downtime. The modalities available today are lasers, radio frequency devices, ultrasound devices, and then a whole gamut of injectables like neuromodulators, filler injections, skin boosters, and PRP therapy. The variety of lasers which are available are for anti-aging, skin tightening and lifting, and besides that we do vascular lesions, pigmented nevi, scars, keloids. Then we have the radio frequency and the ultrasound devices, again, which result in non-invasive skin tightening. A very common problem which we face as dermatologists is melasma, which is emotionally very crippling. Though the patient expectation is high, relapse is common in this condition. Here we have used Q-switched Nd:YAG laser to work on the pigmentation. Just in a few sessions, the melasma patches have improved. This is a pigmented hairy nevus, which in a few sessions the lesion is looking considerably better. Then there are radiofrequency therapies like Thamaj, which work on non-invasive skin tightening. In this, we see that the jawline is more defined. Here, this helps in reduction of wrinkles as well as skin lifting. Now, though we cannot compare the results with surgical procedures, but why people prefer them is there is little downtime and it's a single session procedure. There is an improvement in the facial appearance just after one session with this specialized kind of radiofrequency therapy. This is a lady in her late 60s, and post one session, she looks like this. The results should last for up to 1.5 to 2 years. Then there is ultrasound-based devices like Ultherapy, in which we target the skin at different layers with micro-focused ultrasound. We create discrete coagulation points which result in skin contraction. Here we see tightening around the jawline, and there's progressive lifting and tightening of the skin over 6 to 9 months. A very popular treatment is a combination of neuromodulators and dermal fillers, and by Karanthars et al., they considered it as a standard for rejuvenation of the face. These two together work to reduce muscle hyperactivity, optimize facial contouring, and provide volume replacement. Now, botulinum toxin started in 1970s as a medicine for strabismus and blepharospasm. In the late 1990s, its cosmetic potential was discovered, and it got commonly used since 2002. In 2007, it was being used in more than 70 countries for 20 different indications. We inject the substance botulinum into the small muscles of the face for desired results. As far as dermal fillers go, physicians have been using fat, silicone, bovine collagen, and then in 2002 to 2005 onwards, the first hyaluronic acid filler was approved. This shows some slides with the effect of botulinum toxin. We see how the forehead wrinkles have improved. This is post one session. The result starts kicking in by the third day. This again, the glabella, the crow's feet, the forehead wrinkles, now the crow's feet, we try to create an appearance which is more natural. That means we do not make all the wrinkles disappear. Botulinum toxin is also used for facial reshaping. We inject it into the masseters to make a square face more oval. We use it for the platysmal bands, and then we use dermal fillers for facial creases, hollows on the face, on the lips, and also to lift features like the nose and the eyes. Common dermal fillers are hyaluronic acid, poly-L-lactic acid, and calcium hydroxyl apatite. In this, we've used hyaluronic acid fillers. The two fillers which are commonly available in our country are Juvederm and Restylane. This shows how we worked on the nasolabial folds, the marionette lines and the lips. This is post 1 week and the results are expected to last for 1 year. These are slides of lip augmentation. The emphasis is on a more natural look. Here a combination of neuromodulators and dermal fillers are used to correct the drooping lips as well as the marionette lines. Then with the passage of time, due to the aging process, there is volume loss, especially in the middle face, and the cheeks become sunken. So we inject fillers into the middle face to lift the cheeks up. The results that we desire are very subtle. The person has to look like herself what probably she looked 10 years back. Now here we see a lady with sunken cheeks and hollows around the eyes. In this slide, if you see very closely, the lateral cheeks have been lifted and the hollows are looking less. We try to restore the apple of the face. So the changing trends are that there's preference for non-invasive treatments. A multiple modality approach is preferred, where we combine various techniques and technologies for the desired results. People are coming to us now at a younger age for aesthetic correction, and the percentage of male patients is increasing. Thank you.
Dr. Sudeep Jain, can you please come on the stage to present the memento?
क्या बोल रहे हैं? हाँ, definitely, always. जो ताड़ियां मारेगा उसके लिए.